Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
Hi.
We have Lodi's finest in the building.
Lodi's finest.
Here she is, y'all.
Destiny Rogers.
Here I am.
Still your
What's up?
girl. Has been out for, I don't know, what, couple months now, right?
Months. Yeah.
And now you're here, finally on a freaking, album run, promoting the album.
Exactly, yeah.
2 months later. But you were saying that it's because tour happened and life was happening so quick that you just haven't had a time to really soak it in.
Yeah, I didn't have time to soak it in at all. Like, I dropped the album through, 2 album release parties that week, and then the next day left for Montreal, which was the first stop on the Madison tour. So, went straight into tour life, and when you're on the road, you don't have time to think about literally anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just focused on traveling, getting to these places safely, doing my dance on stage, and
Yeah.
then hitting the next spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now that I'm back, I'm like, okay, Pride Month's over. I had a couple Pride festivals, whatever, and then I was just like, okay, my album is out, my work is out.
Yeah.
So it had a delayed reaction.
It's kind of like a weird, I don't want to say a weird situation. It's just a different situation because normally it's the press runs first and then a tour, but you went directly into tour and now you're doing the press runs.
Yeah.
When you're touring with Madison Beer, right? You're obviously promoting a lot of this new music.
Yeah.
And because it's new music, did your fans even have time to digest the lyrics and the songs, while you were performing on tour?
Well, it's so cute, actually, because a lot of, Madison's fans, when, Madison announced to me going on, the East Coast run, her fans would DM me asking, what songs, I'm going to be singing for my set so that they can learn it.
Oh,
And so, yeah.
that's so nice. What the heck?
No, it
That's
was
sick.
I was I'm so I don't want anyone knowing my show, but I'm here's a set list.
Yeah.
I'm doing Westlake, on the East Coast. I'll learn it. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, there were fans that would DM me and just yo, I want to learn your music. I want to sing along. So I would send them my set list. But I'm super locked in on the West Coast. So for me to go out to the East Coast, there's obviously a little more of a drier crowd when I go out. But obviously I still stole hearts every night.
Man, I think first of all, what's the name of your your group, your fans?
Fan base. Do you have a name for the fan base?
I have 2. When I first started, it was Team Destination.
Okay.
Ooh.
All
When
right.
I first started, it was Team Destination. I made merch for it and everything. I was 13 or 14. It was way back then. It was called Team Destination. And then a group of fans came up with the Lowriders. I ride for Des.
Oh.
And Lolo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, where my lowriders at? You know what I mean?
Okay.
You guys are riding
Okay.
for me. So my fans have stuck with that. There's an official fan page, Lowriders official fan page.
Oh my god.
So I think that's it. But I'm waiting until I hit a next pivotal moment in my career where I get new fans to see what the newbies come up with.
Yeah.
So.
Well, shit, man. I mean, shout out to Team Destination. Shout out to the
Exactly.
Lowriders because y'all were representing heavy in the East Coast, just trying to understand. Well, trying to know the lyrics for the Madison Beer tour, over in the East Coast, that. I don't know. At least for me, that's unheard of.
Yeah, for people to reach out and just be I want to learn your music.
Yeah.
It's just a wholesome feeling.
It was awesome. And it's good music too. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great music. Are you kidding me? Literally, I was just telling you before, I feel I want to cry, but then I also feel okay, I feel empowered. It's a roller coaster of emotions.
Exactly.
Listening to the album.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to make it feel too, all of my past music in the beginning, 2019, 2020, 2021 era.
Yeah.
The Westlake era and the Tomboy era. I was 19. I just signed a deal. I'm outside. I moved to LA by myself.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm living the dream, and I'm yo, my moment's about to happen. I'm on cloud 9, but I still haven't really went through anything, you know. And during those years was when I was in a secret relationship with a girl from 2019 to 2021. So I was also in love, but keeping it a secret and myself a secret at the same time.
Right.
But then 2021, when me and her broke up, that's when I was going through some shit finally. You know, like
Yeah.
So
and
was the making of this album kind of around that era too, of that 2021?
Yeah. It's this album started. I started the creative process for this album literally the day I got my heart broken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's a blessing in disguise.
It is.
almost.
It is a blessing now.
Yeah.
But then I literally wanted to die. Like it's like the worst feeling going through like your first
Yeah.
breakup. But you know.
Wait. That was your first breakup, like, ever, too?
I mean, you know, high school things, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
Like,
love.
serious,
This was like a little over 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
like this was like a routine. You know, this was, you know,
and especially going through it like as a secret too. You're just like, okay, now I even have to process these feelings of a heartbreak alone. Like
exactly, that's the part. Like, I told like maybe like two of my friends knew I was with this girl. But like my older sister didn't know, my parents didn't know, my team didn't know. So like, as an artist, I wish I could just go in the studio and cry and write. Yeah. But I was like, damn, like I'm gonna have to come out to them.
Well, because even like artistry in itself, when you're coming up with lyrics, like you have to be honest if you really want people to feel it. So I can only imagine like you're in there and it's like, well, I can't throw them like a curveball talking about a she, you know what I mean?
I tried it, bro. And I tried that too. I'm writing sad shit. And they're like, what's like, how are you coming up with this? Because, you know, I'm not a sad girl writer. I'm like, yo, I'm a boss and this and that.
Yeah.
But they're like, where is this like coming from? And I was like, I don't know, it was just on my heart.
Man, you should have been like.
I remember the meeting too when I played them the records and my heart was racing. I was like, do I do it now? And I was like, no, don't do it now. But I ended up doing it like a couple weeks later.
oh my god.
Wow.
And how did like your team react to it? Like,
Well, they already had a feeling.
Okay.
It's kind of like kind of a relief when people are like, well, duh, you know, because it's like, okay, good. Like it's not gonna be like, oh, really?
Like you were lying to us.
Yeah.
You were like, why weren't you honest with us? You know, it wasn't like that. But I remember the day it happened, I like came out to my manager first, and like it was like halfway through the conversation, like as soon as I said like, so there's something I've been like meaning to tell you that I've been holding on to like for a long time. I will be honest, like I haven't been my true self. But I got to this point in my life where like I need to tell you, I was in a relationship with a girl, and as soon as that happened, like the stereotypes walk in the door.
Yeah.
And then they walk in. So as soon as I drop that sentence to my manager, I look and they're walking in, and I'm like,
And you're like,
That's crazy.
Hey everyone! I was like, you guys should just have a seat. And they already could know by the energy in the room. They're like, yeah, so what's going on? Like, they're super, like, you know, gentle and like. I was like, well, like, I'm bisexual. Like, I was in a relationship with so and so because this girl that I was with, I brought her around all the time. Like, she was like coming to my video shoots, my shows. So she was like my homegirl around when she was around me. But behind closed doors, you know, it was like something romantic. But I was like, yeah, I was in a relationship with so-and-so. We just broke up like a month ago, and I'm in a terrible place, and I literally want to die, and I need to write music to help me heal from this. So literally, all they said was like, yo, Des, like, we don't look at you any differently. Thank you for opening up. I knew that took a while. They're like, but this doesn't change a damn thing. Let's go make music. And then that same day, we went and started creating.
I love that.
The first song was Still Your Girl.
oh my god.
Oh wow, the first song right off the rip.
The first song
That's crazy.
right off rip was Still Your Girl, and I was crying the entire day. Like the vocals that are on the record now, we wrote it over just like guitar and vocal first, and I laid down vocals just as like a rough like pass, because like I was so congested, like nasally and stuff, and they're like, no, like we should keep that in the original record, like because you're not gonna tap into that emotion again. Yeah, you're gonna try to make it sound cleaner and prettier. Yeah, just keep the rawness.
And you just need that right now.
Yeah, and so those are the same vocals.
Wow, that's amazing.
In some way, like, because you know, my sister also went through like a phase of like, I mean, I think she's still bisexual, but she just got married like this past Sunday, right? Like, and it took her a minute to even like open up to me, and it's nothing that like, you know, I obviously asked for. It was just like, hey, like, Kuya, like, this is what's going on. I'm like, all right, cool, like, that's dope. I still accept you and everything. you're kind of in a situation, well, you were kind of in a situation where like, this is my personal life, but my personal life is so integrated with my professional career that at some point, like, I have to say something about this, right? Like, in a sense, did you feel like it was time to finally say something, or was there a little bit of like, I'm kind of like forced to say something right now?
That's a good question. Definitely not forced. There's definitely been moments in my career where, you know, my team or like people around me are just trying to find like inspiration or just get to know me more because they still felt like I wasn't really being 100% me. Like, what else is there to a girl that's Latina, that skates, that's from Northern California, reps the West Coast, and, you know, does R&B, you know what I mean, or something like that. Like, what else is there? Like, that can't just be it, you know? So they would try to pull strings and like tug at me, and, you know, me, my guard's up, and I'm like, nah, like, I'm good, like, I'm happy, like, this and that. So I knew, but obviously I knew I was battling that, and I was like, one day they'll get the truth, but it's not now.
Yeah.
It's not now. I wasn't ready until like literally my heart got broken, and then I was like, maybe this was what needed to happen, because now I like need my people to like comfort me, because I don't even have like my parents or my sister right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the people that I'm with every day, I knew I had to tell, because I live in LA and my family lives back home. So
Yeah.
I couldn't hide myself. Like, I didn't want to hide myself anymore, like around the people I loved that I was seeing every day, because it was like, it was just bad.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Going through that, and now, like you said, we just passed Pride Month, and performing at all these festivals, singing the national anthem at Dodger Stadium for Pride Night. Like, how does that process in your mind? Like,
dude, bro. Oh my God, it's been literally nuts, because I just like came out publicly in 2022. 2023, I like didn't get like booked for anything because I didn't have any new music to like promote or anything like that. So I had that Pride Month off. But when I was doing like press for these Pride interviews and stuff like that, and them like telling me, oh, like, so being like a queer, like, da da da, and I was like, like, how do you know that? I was like, how do you know that? But I'm like, oh shit, like, I'm out now, you know what I mean? So it was like hearing it from like a stranger and being in front of a camera and on a microphone. I'm like, oh my God, they do know these things.
You're like, wait, how do you know my secret? I'm like,
bro,
wait, no, I
exactly, bro. I was like, how do you know that? No, but no, yeah, doing the press, I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm like, but damn, like, I finally made it. Like I'm here. Like,
wow. Well, I love. Well, so I don't mean to cut you off, but you literally just said, "I finally made it."
Yeah,
like that's nuts.
I finally made it.
Oh, and being your true, authentic self. That's
yeah.
I think that's what anybody can ask for. Like, all anybody can ask for.
Right, and I grew up going to like Pride Fest, like in San Francisco and stuff. I'd always go to SF Pride.
Oh yeah, I've been a couple times. It's popping.
I was going during high school. I go with my sister, like we take the BART and like, you know, but I remember just like being at Pride, I'm like, I can't wait till I can like be a part of this community and actually celebrate with my people, because then I was like, oh, I support y'all, I'm an ally, I know, and I'm like, but no, I'm actually one of y'all. So like now it feels cool, like being like really me. And
has the community like embraced you also for coming out?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, everyone knew, like, every like, when I came out, the comments on my coming out post, like, they're like, the closet was Glass Bay. Like, I'm like, okay, y'all.
That's fucking crazy. I will say that, like, the community, the LGBTQ plus community, they definitely have the best, like, comebacks.
Dude,
for everything.
it's like you're roasting me, but it's so funny that I'm like, bitch, I love you. Like,
you're like, yeah, I guess.
Oh my God,
With
man.
the making of Still Your Girl, was there any other session that was memorable that sticks out to you for another song other than Still Your Girl?
Wait, what does that mean?
Like was there a session where you were just like, everyone was there and you guys were just like, this is a fucking vibe right now, like this is
like besides Still Your Girl?
Besides
oh
Still
yeah. I mean, obviously, like, most of my album is like pretty like you get the bangers like Outside and like Single Again, because I still wanted to have a little taste of like my past like sound, but I feel like for this album I wanted it to just be like super, just like the message to like just be in your face, and I wanted beautiful like production around it and stuff. So it's definitely like I'm trying to think, like, I mean, obviously like Outside was one of the songs that we were going crazy about, and we're like gonna put it out as a single. But I wanted Outside to be one of like the records on my album to where it's like it'll just like blow up on its own.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that to be like my little hidden gem. So when you listen to the album, you're like, yo, what the fuck, Des? Where'd you come out with this one? You know?
Yeah.
So I think outside of Still Your Girl, you know, she hits you in a way of just like emotion and like, you know, like the message is powerful. But Outside is just the fucking bop. And that was a song that I wrote in my like the pivotal like moment of when like I was finally like over my ex, and I was literally
okay.
Yo, it was literally a moment where I was like, yo, like I want to go out this weekend. Like I'm like ready to leave my bed and like go hang out with friends and go like out to dinner, and like I'm coming into this new version of me.
Oh, dude, because I know all of us have been through that type of shit where it's like you break up, right? Like whether you are the person who like, mainly this happens with the person who got broken up with. I'm just like, man, I'm staying in here for like a month at the very least. I remember playing PlayStation for like a month, and I was like, I don't want to talk to my friends or nothing. But that moment where you're just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to do. Like, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to go through.
No, it is beautiful to go through, especially like I like was like, I started hitting the gym again, and like I started hitting the gym. Like I started eating healthy. I started like journaling, and like I was like just trying to find things that'll make me feel better. So like I tapped into like the spiritual shit. Like I started like getting like spiritual readings and like crystals and like grounding. Like I was just trying to find things that could bring me peace, and like and it did. And so I finally am in a good place.
Well, if it means anything, you are podcast number 111, so that's an angel number. So
that is perfect.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah, literally right before we started, Nico's like, okay, what number is this going to be? I'm like, so I looked at our previous one. It was 110. I was like, oh, it's 111. I was
That's
like,
so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So,
I love it.
You're like,
Yay,
you're like
so
spiritual.
sick. I love it.
So in that healing process, was it tough to just kind of find it by yourself, I guess, in a sense, like trying to heal by yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was really hard. I at the time like didn't really have a lot of friends. I maybe had one best friend, and that's Kat, you know.
Yeah.
And she was really the one that like would check on me every morning and like throughout the day. Like I remember every morning I'd wake up like around noon. I was so depressed that I just was sleeping as much as I can, because my like mental, as soon as I would wake up, I'd check my phone and I'd be like, I'm going to try to sleep as long as I can just so I don't have to live today. Like, it was crazy. And so she would text me, good morning, have you showered? Have you eaten? Girl, like, get up and go on a walk. It's beautiful out today. Like, she would, like, check up on me because, like, she was I was in such a bad place that, like, she had to check on me every hour just in case. Like,
wow.
Shout out to Kat, man. I mean, it's very rare to find a friend like that.
No,
really.
I know. I know. I wouldn't be as smart or like as awesome if she wasn't the one to like teach me and like be there for me and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Kat, Filipino, you, Mexican.
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of people think you're Filipino.
This is the perfect segue,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Of course, you're like, oh, you're talking about a Filipino girl. Let's go into it.
The way Nico finds segues is fucking crazy.
Because Jackie be looking at me like, all right, come up with the next topic. And I'm just like, all right, just let me do it. But, okay, so it was funny because I thought you were Latina the entire time, right? And then at one point in time, I believe it was January of 2022, I'm going to Cebu. And then Ashley... 2023, yeah, correct. Ashley Meta texted me. She's like, dude, like me and Destiny are here too. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's pretty fucking cool. And then I was like, what for? She's like, oh, she's performing at this Wavy Baby Festival. And I'm like, is Destiny Filipino?
His whole world was about to fucking flip upside down.
Dude, a lot of people think that I'm mixed. They think I'm Filipino and white. Yeah, so like literally like if you go and like Google search, you type in Destiny Rogers and like the second bar under it says, is Destiny Rogers Filipino? It's like so funny because everyone thinks it, but I get it because I did used to hang out with like James Reed and you know all the Careless Crew and stuff. So I was surrounded by that, but also my best friend, Kat, is Filipino. And when I moved to LA, I just like went right into their family. Her family is Filipino as fuck. So like I just like jumped right in, and I'm like, it's kind of similar to Mexican a little bit, you know? I'm like, but like now instead of like fucking taquitos and flautas, I'm eating fucking lumpia and like sinigang and like.
That's hella funny.
But her parents cook all the time. Like every time I go to her place, like there's always just food sitting there. Sinigang, lumpia.
No,
like,
literally it's the same
juice.
thing.
Like it's amazing.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
I love it here.
I was in East LA by myself yesterday, and I just went to this birria Gonzalez, best birria in the fucking world, and I was like, man, if you put me in this situation like 5 years ago, this shit would not have happened. Like I probably would have just went for some other shit. Right. But I was like, dude, I need some like good ass Mexican food right now.
Right.
No, and it's funny because a lot of people think, like, we posted a couple videos recently, like POV, you're in an interracial relationship, and everyone has been commenting like, wait, who's Filipino and who's Mexican between you guys, because they mix us up a lot.
Yep.
And it wasn't until like we rebranded our like Mexipino podcast logo that we put our respective flags behind us, and everyone's like, oh, okay, so Jackie's Mexican. Yeah. I'm like, wait, really? Like, y'all really thought I was the Filipino? They're like, yeah, because Filipinos don't grow facial hair. And they're like, and Nico has a beard. And so, yeah, it's crazy how, like, people just kind of mix that up, too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you get Jackie enough Hennessy, she's going to ghost ride a whip and say, yay, area! Real story, by the way.
That's crazy.
This is a real story.
You had to say Henny. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
But, like, so coming from NorCal and now living in SoCal, what's that difference for you that just really sticks out?
I feel like, no offense, SoCal, but we're lit as fuck in NorCal. The thing is like, I always notice this when I come and party in LA, everyone just be like posted up. Like, they're just like...
On a wall chilling.
But then I go to NorCal and everyone's sneezing, everyone's dancing, everyone's like hitting the Dougie and doing all this. You know what I mean? I'm just like, the energy here is just so much like better when it comes to the party scene. No, it comes to the party scene, okay? But I will say SoCal has literally like opened my mind to even just like cultural foods. Like, growing up, I just ate Mexican and American food like my entire life. But here, now my favorite food is like Korean barbecue and like Vietnamese and like Chinese, and like now I'm like obsessed with Asian food. When like growing up, I'd never had that. Our restaurants are kind of like the same, at least where I'm from. In Lodi, you know, it's a very small town, so we didn't really have that much like cultural like,
I feel that.
No, I agree, because like it wasn't until I started dating Nico where I actually started. I mean, I grew up here in LA, but my area, which is East LA, is literally Mexico. It's literally just Mexico, you know? But like when I started expanding, you know, even just food wise, I'm like, oh my God, like I think Korean food is like my favorite now. And like I'm probably gonna get shit for that because I'm Mexican, but it's like there's just so much more to outside of your city and where you grow up.
Exactly.
It's literally insane.
No, exactly.
I do want to talk about your city though, because I literally didn't know Lodi existed until like last year when we had our friends Miles Parrish and Felicia on the podcast.
Oh my God.
You know Felicia?
I grew up with Felicia.
Oh, that's crazy.
So everybody in Lodi already knows her.
No, yeah, like I grew up with Felicia. Like I've known her since middle school. Like,
hell yeah.
We like grew up together. We like went to church together. Like we were always like hanging out. She's like one of my best friends in Lodi growing up.
Oh, sick.
So yeah,
okay.
And then when I moved to LA in 2019, she moved during the pandemic. She goes, yo, I'm gonna come too. And I was like, fuck it. She moved to Compton. I'm like, why are you moving to Compton, bro?
She went to Compton.
Bro, because
she's a boss, man.
Sorry, Felicia. I gotta like rat you out real quick. But like, she moved to Compton with like, correct me if I'm wrong, like 6 other girls, and like they're all sharing a room. Like her rent was mad cheap. But she just wanted to get out here. Yeah. And then the fucking pandemic hit.
Oh,
hey,
and then
man.
she was stuck in her room with like 3 girls like that she was sharing.
That's great.
We got to bring that up to her next time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's crazy.
And it's so funny too, because you know, growing up, I was a fan of Kaylin and Miles. You know, Miles.
Yeah.
When I started seeing that she was doing work for him, like like in like 2020, 2021, I was like, bitch, you better introduce me to Miles, like, da-da-da. So now they're hella cool, and then now me and Miles are hella cool, so it was like all like a full circle moment.
That's hella
And
funny.
yeah, especially when it's Felicia, because that's like known her since we were 12.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say about Lodi?
Yeah, well, I mean, Lodi, like, it's literally like grassland and farmland and stuff.
It's a wine country. Like, we have a lot of vineyards, and there's like hella wineries in Lodi. Will Smith has came to Lodi to wine taste.
What
it's
the hell?
Awesome.
I texted Kat yesterday because she's like, here's like a one sheet, and I was like, nah, man, we're gonna talk about any alien sightings that Destiny's seen in Lodi. Have you seen any aliens?
No.
Okay, damn
no
it.
aliens
No,
sightings in Lodi.
I don't see no aliens, man.
Well, that's the end of that segment. Damn.
Like, no aliens in Lodi.
So, like, growing up in, like, a small town like that, how does, like, music even come about?
Oh, man. Okay. Here we go. You guys are going to get to know me a lot now.
Let's
like,
do it.
So, my dad, I grew up in church. My dad was a worship leader my entire life.
Okay.
For our church. And my mom also sang in the choir. So, my parents sing. My dad plays like piano and drums. And growing up, you know, I was, you know, the worship leader's kid. So I was going to church not only on Sunday, but Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Hey, girl, I feel the same way
Like,
because I was a choir boy too. I was an altar boy.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I walk down, carry the cross and everything. You know what I mean?
Y'all are hella in the church.
No, I grew up Christian, but my Mexican side, they're all Catholic. So I also like go to Catholic church too sometimes and like catch the mass. Like any funerals or weddings, it's all Catholic. So I grew up doing both. So I got the best of both worlds with that one. But yeah, so Pops is a worship leader. I was in church all the time. My parents like never forced music on me. My dad always told me like whatever, like he told me this later on, but he was like, yo, like when you were growing up, I let you figure out what your hobbies were on your own. Like whatever you gravitated towards, I would back it up and like help you, you know, love it, you know, whatever. So he told me, he was like, I never like press music on you. But I just always gravitated towards instruments first. Like I loved the sound. I loved to play it. I was the little kid running around on stage playing the drum sets and playing the bongos
Hell yeah.
and strumming the guitars like this. And so I just loved the sound. And so my parents would take me to the flea market and like would just buy me little cheap guitars. And I would just play the guitars like 4 years old. There's pictures of me. And then when I was around 10 years old, I just always had guitars around. I was always getting new guitars. Since I was a skater girl, like I was always just skating. That's it. And then I had a guitar. And that was when Justin Bieber started coming up. Like literally when he just started posting his YouTube videos. So I was on YouTube and I see a Justin Bieber video and he's playing guitar. I think it was like "Cry Me a River" by Justin Timberlake. And I was like, this kid is really, really good and he's cute. I was like, I want to try playing guitar. You know, I got kind of like my competitiveness side came in. I'm like, I want to try. Yeah. I grabbed my guitar, I put it on, and I'm watching the video, and I'd pause it on every chord. Pause, check, play, pause. Like, yeah, I would just like, copy, and it was like a basic 4 chords. So I was playing it, and I was like, all right. I'm like, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna click another video. Learned another song. Just by self-teaching myself and watching his fingers. And then my dad comes in from work one day, and he walks in and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, Dad, I just learned how to play this song. Like, listen. And he was like, you didn't know how to play guitar yesterday. Like, how did this happen? And I was like, I've just been practicing, like, watching this guy's fingers. And he was like, do you know what these chords are? And I was like, no. And he goes, come with me to the piano. So he took me to the piano, and he's like, all right, play that chord. So I'd play like a C, and then he'd be like, all right, that's a C. Play another one. Okay, that's a G. Play another one. Okay,
wow, that's
A
cool.
minor. So he would tell me the chords, and then it would just stick with me. And then he was like, if you get good enough, he was like, I'll let you play with me at church every Sunday. And I was like, oh yeah,
you're like my first gig.
And so sure enough, I would just go in, and I was 11 years old, and I was now the guitar player for my church.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I was also trying to be like Justin Bieber, so I was like, well, he got noticed on YouTube. I'm gonna get noticed on YouTube. So I started posting all my covers on YouTube, And I literally like became obsessed with him, but I also wanted to be him, and I wanted to be bigger than him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I started in church. Then I was the worship leader for my youth group when I was 13. Then when I was 16, I went to another church, was a worship leader at that church, and then 17 is when I met Stereotypes.
Yeah.
At the time, I was still going in, posting all my covers on SoundCloud, posting all my covers on YouTube. I was performing at open mics in Stockton and doing everything that I could. And now I'm like the 209, like I'm getting acknowledged by like other 209 artists. So I'm part of like the 209 like crew now, which is cool because now people look at me like I'm like the star of Lodi. And I was like, I want to be the star everywhere. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I still got work to do. So I was still posting heavy. I posted a location Khalid cover on YouTube, and one of the old drummers from our worship team in church had moved to LA and got an internship at the Stereotype Studio. So he was an intern. And when I had posted my video, he saw it and he goes, yo, he shows the Stereotypes. He's like, yo, this is my friend from Lodi. She's 17. Like, she's so cool. And they're like, yo, she's from Lodi? Like, what the fuck? Because some of them are from Sac, so they know where Lodi is. And I was like, or they were like, yeah, like, she's hella dope. Like, let's meet her. So we set up a meeting, and my mom, so I got hella tias. My mom has like 5 sisters, bro.
Oh my God.
And so all of them came.
Stop.
With my mom.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Why do we always gotta bring all of our family? It's like literally like at graduations too. Like Mexican families will be like, "Oh, there's only 5 tickets we can take."
I
We're
know,
bringing
and everyone
12.
gets so butthurt.
Yes.
Weddings, parties. It's like I don't even want to throw nothing because someone's gonna be crying if you don't get an invite.
Someone's gonna bitch and complain that like so and so wasn't invited. That's crazy.
No, yeah, dude. So it's me and my mom, and I got a squad behind me. All my tias are right behind me. And we're walking in. And then we walk in the room and all the Stereotypes there, and I'm pretty sure they didn't think I was gonna come rolling deep.
Yeah.
Like, no. We all sat down, and I was like, this is crazy. It's crazy now that I think about it because I remember the day so well. It's just so funny. Anyway, but no, yeah. So I walked in the meeting, and I had my guitar, and they were like, "Yo, so like, can you play something?" And I was like, "Yeah. Like, what do you want to hear?" And they're like, "You're asking us what we want to hear?" And I was like, yeah, like, I can pretty much, like, play anything. Because I do open mic, so I take requests all the time, and I figure stuff out. And they're like, all right, play Issues by Julia Michaels, because I was, like, the shit then. So I was like, all right. So I, like, turn around, and I figure out the chords. It took, like, 30 seconds. I turn around, and then I sing the song. They're like, can you play That's What I Like by Bruno Mars? I was like, sure. Did the same thing. Da-da-da. And so from then on, they always say, like, the moment when you asked us what we wanted to hear, and it took you 30 seconds to figure out the song and sing it all the way through. I even messed up on the words. They're like, you covered it up so well. They're like, we knew you were a star, like, when you did that.
That's amazing.
And so that was, like, the moment where they were like, yo, let's do something.
Yeah.
So then we ended up just working. I was a senior in high school. I was like, this is perfect because I don't got to go to college. It's like I could like sign to these guys, move out to LA and do it.
So there was literally like zero plan B from the jump, basically. No. Like no college, no nothing, just
I refused going to college, bro. Like when I did graduate, I was still going back and forth to LA to work with the Stereotypes. But when I was home, you know, I was like writing with some of the best writers and like feeling so cool and awesome. And then I'd come to Lodi, I'm like, ugh, now I'm like this small town girl again. But my mom was like, either like while you're home, you're gonna like go to just like a community college or you're gonna get a job. And I was like, fuck it, I'll get a job. I'd rather make some money. So I got a job at Starbucks. I was a barista for 6 months.
A barista?
Yeah, I was at Starbucks, bro.
Oh man, I'm about to just hire you to make me some damn coffee because that's look.
Dude, I love making coffee. It's so fun. But yeah, it was so funny because I was still like the superstar of Lodi, and I was afraid of getting a job in Lodi because I don't want people seeing me like thinking I quit or thinking I gave up. Like, you make bread like performing at these little restaurants, but like why do you have a job?
Yeah.
And then I got addicted to making money, so I got a second job. And so I was a waitress at a winery, at Viaggio Winery in Lodi.
Oh, shit.
So I was being a waitress over the weekend. I was working at Starbucks, like, in the mornings.
What the heck?
Did you do the happy birthday stuff at the winery?
Fuck no.
I'm about to say, you would have killed it doing the happy birthday shit.
No, but dude, no, like at the wineries, like I would have to take pictures like with fans. Like
I was gonna ask, like, because you like had regular jobs, quote unquote, like, was there people that were like, "Can I get a picture with you?" Like during mid shift is fucking crazy.
Mid shift is wild. I was bussing tables with my thing, and I'm picking up glasses from a table, and a guy is like, "I know you're on the clock, but can you get a picture whenever you get the chance?" And so I was like, let me go to the back and drop this off, and I'll come back.
Yeah.
And so I went
in uniform too.
In uniform. I'm in all black, non-slips. Like it was insane.
That's crazy.
I hope he has the photo. I hope the photo is somewhere.
But
yeah, I hope this guy sees this, and
I hope you see it.
I have the vid.
I fucking hope you see it.
But you know what's so cool about just hearing your entire story, right? Like, I think the music industry is in a very interesting situation right now, and I honestly think it's the best time to make music because you're basically your own promoter. And a lot of people don't want to go through the reins of like, oh, I got to promote on social media, I got to do this, I got to do that. But if we take your entire story from when you started, right? Like, I'm just going to pause a YouTube video of Justin Bieber and learn these chords, right? I'm going to do all these open mics. I'm going to perform in front of my tias. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, you were doing all the groundwork before social media was even like really a thing.
Yeah.
And even now you're doing all that groundwork. Well, groundwork in different ways, whether it be social media, going to this event, going to that event, whatever. And for me, you're making sure there's zero room for excuses. So my question to you is, Destiny, like, what's just kept you motivated from the time you picked up a guitar and you were learning these chords watching Justin Bieber videos?
Sometimes the motivation doesn't, like, it goes away sometimes. You know, you have these moments where in your life where you question if you're putting all this energy into something, if it's not going to work, you know, because you know, we do that. I overthink a lot, and I'm always in my head, and I'm like, well, what if this goes wrong, and what if this isn't what I'm meant to do, and all this stuff. But what always keeps me motivated is just like remembering like why I started, right? I started because I've always seen myself like just like being an inspiration to people. You know, I have been through a lot. And, like, even growing up before I came out, before that whole story, like, my parents split up. And, like, I now come from a broken family, and that's not talked about enough. And I always just I want to be a voice for people to help people just, like, know that they're going to be okay. And I want to be that person for them because I didn't really have much of that. But I always knew, like, I wanted to change the world. That's what I always told my parents. Well, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I want to change the world. Like, well, how? You know what I mean? But I just keep going and keep going because I know there are people out there that, like, need saving and need help.
Wow.
And I feel, and I am called to be that person for fans, you know? Also another thing keeping me motivated is just my family. We didn't grow up with any money. Like, my grandparents are immigrants. Like, my mom and everyone pretty much, like, on my Mexican side, we never really had a lot of money. Like, my mom started working when she was, like, 13 years old. And we've never, ever been at a time in our life where we were, like, financially stable. It's always been a struggle. Still till this day, still a struggle. And that's why I'm out here kicking ass, and like so I can make sure that one day I can retire my mom, I can buy her car that she wants because she's settling for a Nissan right now and she just deserves more. You know, my family deserves more. My grandma, like my abuela, she's about to be 91 in like 2 months. And she always says like, Mija, I can't wait till you get a house with stairs.
Oh my god.
That's what she says. I'm like, 2 stories. Like, grandma, you know they make like 8-story houses now? But like she's like, Mija, I can't wait till you get a house with stairs. Cause that's just a 2-story home is so much to her.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I mean, and I just have family that has just struggled with addictions and has been homeless, has been to treatment. I have cousins that are like locked up and I haven't seen for years. And so, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I wanna work, and so I can just be able to like financially like support them. You know, when my cousin gets out of prison, put him in like a home and like get him the treatment he needs and get him a job and get him a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
like there's all of these things that like no one really talks about.
Yeah.
I work so hard so that my family doesn't have to, so we just don't have to struggle anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that's literally every kid's like whoever, like anybody who has an immigrant like parent or an immigrant like family member like that came here from the jump. That's like what we try and like strive.
Yeah,
and it's like an everyday like, okay, we want to retire our parents. We want to get our parents something just to show them like, you didn't make all those sacrifices just for me to quit.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Exactly. Yeah, my parents drove me like from LA or from Lodi to LA all the time. Like even when my parents were like going through their divorce, they still like co-parented and like took me.
Wow.
It was so awkward for them to sit in a car together for 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't want them to have done all that for me to just quit and like go home and work at the winery again.
They believed in you.
They believed in me. They still believe in me. You know, my dad gets a kick out of it that I just did the Dodger Stadium national anthem. Because baseball is mine and him's like sport. Like we bond over baseball.
Yeah.
So getting to perform in like a baseball stadium instead of like an arena for an NBA game was like a little different. It hit home for me, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a home run.
I'm sorry. That is crazy. That's hella funny.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm feeling like full transparency. I'm feeling very like
enlightened
and moved and
Yeah.
motivated myself from just hearing what you just said.
Yeah, and I think that's what, you know, separates you from a lot of other artists. And I feel like you wanting to be vulnerable, you sharing that alone. Like, I mean, there's so many artists out there that like, it's like, nah, I'm gonna keep my life like literally just in one lane, and it's just it's so much more than that.
It is. And every time like people ask me like, where do you see yourself in like 10 years or where do you see yourself like in 5 years? I always like talk about like all the things that I'm gonna do for other people. And like one time if someone told me like, Destiny, you had all this list and you didn't say anything about what you're gonna do for you.
Wow.
Like, why don't you go buy your G-Wagon? Why don't you like take yourself on a nice trip with your homegirls? And like, but I was like, no, because my mom needs this and my grandma needs this and my sister's a single mom with 2 kids. My niece is about to graduate high school. She needs to go to college. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm just thinking about others. Like, that's just my heart.
It's that question. I remember when the lottery was just like super freaking massive, and Jackie was like, what would you do if you won? I'm like, well, first of all, I'm gonna make sure my entire family has their own individual houses, and I'm gonna make sure they're good first. After that, that's for me.
That's how I just
Exactly.
feel like,
Y'all good?
Yeah.
I bet.
I was like literally like, here y'all go. Okay, now we'll go do the
Yeah, for real, dude.
But I feel you, because like, especially coming from an immigrant family, like that's the toughest thing. I got this tattoo on my wrist. It's 1972, right? I'll get the joke of, you were born in 72. I'm like, do I look that fucking old?
People think this tattoo says the Philippines, but it's Philippines.
Philippians.
Yeah.
No, literally, I thought that once, and I was just like, oh, maybe she is Filipino.
They're like, oh, like your birthday's April 13th, and you're born in the Philippines.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But
Anyway.
1972 was the year that my grandfather came from the Philippines to San Francisco for the first time. He went here without my grandma. He also left my mom in the Philippines, right?
Wow.
And so his mission was, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a house. I'm going to first move my grandma and my mom over here. And then his house ended up becoming the hub. His house ended up becoming the hub for the rest of my family members to move from the Philippines to San Francisco to give them their first chance at
A better life.
Really. And when my mom told me that story, my grandpa's still here, thank God. But like when my mom told me that story, I was like, wow, like that's part of my life's mission, to help other people and make sure that, especially my family members, to give them the opportunities that they probably will not be given unless I give it to them, you know?
Yeah, I feel like,
Exactly.
and I feel like the reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason that you're so much like that is because you grew up in church so much. You were literally surrounded by help others, by literally from the jump.
Help others, and also just like my mom, like helping our family members even when we didn't got it, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom, like one time, like my cousin, he got like kicked out of his apartment, and my mom, like we didn't have it, but like my mom somehow found like $200, got like $200, and we put him in like a motel for a week with him and his kids. And then we would take groceries to our cousins that didn't have money for groceries. We would take groceries to their place. So I saw my mom's like helping hand and like wanting to help others even when we don't have it. It's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still keep showing, keep spreading it. It'll come back, you know? So, yeah.
It's going to come back.
It
is coming back. Yeah. I can definitely see that. And with this album, I think this is just the very, like, beginning.
This is still the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a whole new era now. I cut my hair. Like, I'm like, that was a big thing for me, like, cutting my hair. But I wanted some change. I wanted something added. You know, I wanted some spice added to who Destiny Rogers is. And I just wanted to have a fresh look. But, no, yeah, there's a story, like a real story now. And I went through some shit now. And I want to be able to help people that are dealing with the same thing, that are afraid to be who they are, who are afraid to tell their parents something, not even if they're gay, but if, you know, they have an addiction or they're struggling with something, or, you know, like, they can call on their parents and, you know, whatever. So.
Amen. Tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot.
I have a few.
I want to go down the list.
Okay. Tattoo haul. I'm going to go from order, from like first to like most recent.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. First one is the iconic Philippians 413.
Not Philippines.
Not the Philippines. Philippians 413. I got this the day I turned 18 on my birthday. And it's kind of like big, I think, for a first tattoo. But I didn't tell my mom because my mom doesn't like tattoos. Yeah. So I got the tattoo, and then I had like the wrap around it, and like I went straight to my birthday dinner, and my parents were already sitting at the table, and I was like, "Hi, Mom," and she goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a tattoo. Like Danielle, my sister, Danielle took me to get a tattoo." I was like, "Do you like it?" Because it's like a Bible verse. You know what I
mean? Dude, that's literally such a like Mexican kid thing to do. Is like, I got this tattoo, but
I know, dude. Yeah. Like, but look, like, and the first thing she was like, "I hope that's fake." And I was like, "Mom, it's not fake." But whatever. First tattoo. Second tattoo is this rose. I don't need to show the camera. Rose, with my grandpa and my grandma's initials. Roses are my grandma's favorite flower.
Aww.
Then I just got this like random cross one time. It was for free.
Nice. We need those. We need those for sure.
Made by Heaven on my thumb. Mama, I am that rich man from Tomboy.
Got it.
And then Grace is actually my mom's name.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got Grace. That was another thing I pulled. I was like, "Well, Mom, look, it's your name. Like, it's your name." She cried actually when she saw this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she cried.
Wow.
Grace, and then Daryl. That's my dad's name. This is my logo. This 3 symbol. It's like you had to get your heart broken and go through that in order to heal and, you know, go back to where you started. So it's kind
It's also at the bottom of a Still Your Girl, yeah?
Yeah. It's like literally like my logo that I'm trying to go for. It's all my merch and stuff. What else do I have? Oh, I have a music note right here. They're small right now. I have Don't Let the Dream Die. I saw this font like written very small on a wall in Paris one time. And I remember I was going through something. I just came out to my dad actually. And it was like really affecting like my work ethic when it came to like doing work. So I was going through like a really hard time. And like when I was in Paris, I had to do like this video for a social media something. And so I was like, all right. So I took my phone and I'm like making a video. And then I see like in very small print in the back, like I was like, what the fuck is that? Moved to the side and I was like, wait, let me see what that was. And I go, and in very small print, it said, "Don't let the dream die," on the wall.
Wow.
That's sick.
And so I took a picture of it and I was like, I'm getting it tatted. And I got it tatted.
Wow. It was a message you needed in that
It was a
moment.
message I needed to where I like needed it on my body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it was like that.
Now, did you get it done in Paris?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
was gonna say.
because the language barriers are so hard in Europe.
Yeah.
It's so tough. At restaurants, I get so shy. I'm like, I can't order.
And what about the Girls Don't Cry?
Oh fuck.
Missed one.
Girls don't cry. My boy Verdi, this is his brand. I've always been a fan of the brand. And I just love the message behind it. It's very like empowering. So I just wanted to get it tatted, and I got it tatted, and now I get free Girls Don't Cry shit for life.
Love it.
That's what you gotta do.
We love to see it.
Damn.
I literally did the same thing with like my mom's. Like, so I got this done. I think 3-4 weeks ago. No, it was like
First of all, I was in a New Orleans trip for my brother-in-law's bachelor party.
And so I was just like, okay, well, he's on a bachelor party. What am I going to do? And I had the weekend off. And I was like, I go get 3 tattoos. So I went to go get 3 tattoos. And I got my mom's, it's GDL. And that's where she was born in Mexico. She was Guadalajara. Yeah. So then, and then I got this LA one. And then I got
It's on that side.
hummingbird on this side, which is my dad.
Those are cute.
Yeah, and then I have a matching one with Nico. He drew this heart, and I drew the one that he has.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
No, I
this
mean-
one's
So cute.
for my grandpa, but that's literally how I would like say it to my mom and be like, okay, because she always told me, she's like, don't ever get a tattoo about me. I'm like, okay, sure. So when I did it, I was like, it's your writing and it's where you're from, so so I'm like, so here
We
you
have
go.
to explain every piece.
Literally.
Like, I
Yeah.
said, but mom, this is your I was like, this is your like parents' names right here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, that's crazy.
That's hella funny.
Man, I mean, I'd say my favorite tattoo is this one. It says "Tu Barangay Balanga." I actually got it in Cebu, like that same
right?
time.
Same trip.
Yeah, during that same trip. Yeah, because when I was younger and I would go to the Philippines, I would see this sign, and whenever I'd see this sign, I'd be like, okay, we're literally 5 minutes away from where my family lives.
Right.
And so literally, I already had it planned out in my head. I was like, oh, what if I do this? I just took a photo of it, and then I was like, oh, this would be a dope tattoo. So kind of like how you did with the, and I'm like, yeah.
Wait, so your family is from Cebu? Or
No, so this is actually in a part of the Philippines called Balanga. It's in Batangas.
Okay.
So it's on a completely different island. It's on the main island. But then I got the tattoo in Cebu.
Okay,
I was
got
like,
you.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
you speak
yeah.
Tagalog?
Konti lang, just a little
little
bit.
bit?
Yeah, just a
Nice,
little
nice.
bit.
Yeah, but he understands it. But when like he's trying to speak it, he's just like,
Get shy?
yeah.
I get shy.
That's how I am with Spanish too. I get a little shy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really like fluent like that.
I used to be fluent when I was younger in Spanish. I was like really good because my grandma only speaks Spanish, well, both my grandmas, and she would take care of me. So I just like I was really good. But as I got older, I was like, man, I feel weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have more songs with Twee? Outside of a
Not
remix?
Not yet. I mean, damn. I actually like haven't even like spoke to Twee in a while. She's been doing her thing. I'm super
Yeah.
proud of her, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely would like her like on like one of my next projects because I hopped on her song. So we've always talked about like me and her getting in and actually having a session and creating something from scratch together. So
Yeah.
definitely should be in the future for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
What else is in store? What?
Man, more of these. Like I said earlier, like I'm just like happy now that like the shows are like done for right now, and I could actually just like get behind a mic and actually just talk and explain about the project and all the things that I've been through for like the new fans too that are just hopping on my little bandwagon. But yeah, more of these. I definitely want to hit one more tour in fall, just to like maybe open for someone again and gain a little bit more traction for that.
Yeah.
Gain more fans that way, and then top of the year, do my own. Go to Asia. I want to go to like Philippines, Korea, Japan. Everyone just shows mad love out there every time I go to Asia. So I want to go to Asia, do a few like key states here in the U.S. and then go to Europe and do like London, Paris, Amsterdam, or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I love that.
Yeah, I definitely want to. Yeah, I want to hop on a tour, and then got a couple more things that aren't super locked in yet. So I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But cool other things that you guys will see.
All right.
Well, we're manifesting it.
Thank you.
That we are. Destiny Rogers, everybody. Where can everybody find you and your music?
You guys can just type in Destiny Rogers on all socials. Everything you got, I'm there. My new album, Still Your Girl, is out right now. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
There we go. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And I'm Destiny Rogers.
We're out. Peace.